I spoke to the police that she made all this reported, and they didn't care. They still believe the biological father, not the mother. So I don't want to get lost here, because I want to make sure you understand. Because the court, the judges, don't let me speak. All the evidence to show who this monster is. The men leave the court laughing, and I have to take my niece, the mommy, to the emergency room every time. 21 August 2021, 11:39. I'm not sure, I think it was a 22. Because the 21, I went to the court, which you have to drive 2 hours. This court is in, oh my gosh, I don't know the name. I'll read the address. Oh, wait a minute. I have it right here. This court is New Jersey, Newton, New Jersey. Newton, New Jersey. We have to drive almost 2 hours from Bayonne, New Jersey to this court. So that's who. When she go to Bloomfield police to report it, the police goes, you have to go to the other one when the crime occur. So she have to drive the day that she took the baby from the school. She was waiting to 6 o'clock. He's supposed to drop the baby at the police station, Bloomfield, New Jersey. So she drove in an old car, because her car is here, shaking, heavy palpitations. And I was on the phone with her, and she said, Auntie, I hope the car doesn't break down. That was already night when she go to the Harris Police Department in Hamburg. I also have that. But, and then when she asked the police there, please, go get my daughter. He's abused my daughter. The police already knew the baby was abused, because 20 November 2020, she made the police report about the sex abuse. So the police went there. It did not brought the baby back. The biological father walked outside and say everything was fine. They did not ask what the mother asked. I have a friend that his child, not child anymore, his boy was 17 years old. And his ex-wife sent the police to pick him up. He was 17. I asked my friend, but he's 17. He cannot sleep over because it's not your day. So my friend answered me, no, because he's not 18 yet. So until 18, he cannot sleep over. So how can my little niece that this man took from the school, my niece goes and tells the police, he took my daughter from the school. My daughter wish me get there and save her. Please get my daughter. He's torturing her, he abused her. And the police went there, did not bring the baby. And then she goes, the next day, she goes to the judge in Newark, the Supreme Court of Newark. I heard the words of the judge. She tells the judge, please, Your Honor, my daughter's suffering. Go get my daughter. He took my daughter from school without my permission. My daughter terrified. This, everybody knew. This judge knew that in November, 20 November, this baby, this mommy, begged them to save the child because he caused her again infection. Because he do that every time she go to do for relocation, to move to her home. He put infection in the baby, putting her dirty fingers, because he knows the diaphy's going to lie again. I have the reported when my niece, when the baby was 3 years old, say he abusing, she have infection, took antibiotic. They say the mom is crazy, believe the father. Or this court system did to this mother. That is the why my husband had a stroke. The baby was 2 years old. He knew that this man come back to use this child. I told my nephew, go, when my niece was pregnant, I spent 9 months, 2 years before the man comes back. I beg to her mother, I beg to my nephew, he's coming back. He's going to make your sister's life miserable. But they didn't. They is telling her, oh no, he's not coming back. And she could come because when the baby was 1 year, she asked to come home. But nobody told her the law. Nobody told her. I say to her, you come home. But she was scared because she didn't know the law. She didn't know. First of all, she registered her daughter alone. But her brother and her sister-in-law was telling her all wrong, because my nephew listens to the wife. And I know how evil she is. I know since the day she married my nephew, because my nephew was naive. He was in his 20s, coming from Brazil, and she made the kids call him father. The first month met him, I told him, do not marry this woman. She's going to use you, manipulate you. She raised her 4 boys driving truck. I lost him, and his sister lost him because he was completely brainwashed by her. You know when somebody knows that you know who they are, and then they take the person from me. He took the nephew from me because she knows I know who she is. But my nephew knew what he was doing because I told him. Every time for 8 years, since his sister was pregnant, I told him, your wife is teaching your sister all wrong. I spent 8 years on the phone telling him, you gotta tell the judge, you gotta tell the police what the biological father of her little niece doing to her. But he didn't. When the baby was 3 years old, I begged my niece to put in me as a witness to speak in the court for her as a witness or in her behalf. But she did not know. She did not know that his wife was already a friend of him at the Facebook, on Facebook with him. And she did not know that her brother going to do that. Her brother could save the baby because I told him, You tell the judge that he's torturing this child since 40 months old. And he's already abusing her because at the time, the biological father was already seeing the baby without supervision, alone. But my niece didn't put me, because she said to me, the sister-in-law speak perfect English, and the brother gonna say everything. I did not need to go. And then I told my nephew, you make sure you tell the story to the judge that he spanked you in a hotel, that he abandoned the child. He never asked, he tell the whole thing. He didn't say a word. Can you imagine how happy this pedophile was watching the brother and the sister-in-law say nothing? And then he has the CDs from the court watching the uncle of the child not say nothing because his wife told him not to say anything. She was already with this man, informing him everything. So, this is the things that in court, they don't let me speak. But I say this, I beg the judge to let me speak. The reason I'm saying this to you here, because the biological father, for years, was in a court, telling Daifes in his evaluations, telling to the judge that she have a family in New Jersey, that she do not need to come to her home. Oh my God. And because my niece had panic syndrome, she could not express and cut over when they tell her to formulate questions. And the lawyers didn't say, because my niece was taken advantage by everyone, but she's the best mommy. She begged the judge to make it clear. She begged the judge. She did it all right. She begged the police. She begged the judge. She begged the doctors. Please, tell the judge that he's molesting my child. Daif is lying. And they don't believe me, they believe on him. Daif's believe on him, and the judge believe on Daif's. She did everything she could, but they didn't believe her. The child was manipulated in interview, and they believe every word he said. My niece had the evidence all in her hand. I was there, inside the courtroom. And when the judge asked, she would go mute, and I couldn't speak for her. But I'm gonna show you the questions what the judge asked her, that for the 1 year, 2018, this mother and this child was mentally tortured. The baby was physically, mentally tortured by the father, but the mother was mentally tortured by this biological father, constantly calling her crazy in front of the judge, interrupting her. So anyway, I'm gonna continue tell this story. Meanwhile, I'm asking you, I need a lawyer. I need to save my niece every single day that she's living in New Jersey with her daughter, and they don't let she come home. She do not have her full custody